Hello and welcome to our video, the fantastic Highlights of Antarctica cruise that we've just completed with Hurtigruten. In the first part, we'll be describing our journey across the Drake Passage, the facilities on the ship and in our cabin, and also say something about how the activities in Antarctica were organised. In the second part, we'll be showing you some of the things that we saw and did, from our landings, our kayaking trip, to icebergs, wildlife, seals, whales and penguins. Lots and lots of penguins. We hope you enjoy it. Hello, we are Dave and Kim, a married couple from North Yorkshire in the UK. We left our jobs to focus on what we love, exploring nature and the globe through hiking, biking and travel. As adventurous walrus, we share videos about places we've been and the experiences we've had to inform and inspire your travel.
We joined the ship in Ushuaia, and after a long walk up the quayside to get to the ship, the first thing we did was went to our room to have a look at the facilities there.
Hi everyone, we are now on the MS Fridtjof Nansen for our Highlights of Antarctica cruise with Hurtigruten. We have our cruise cards and we have our lovely Hurtigruten rain and windproof jackets. I'm modelling the small and Dave has a medium. We've just come into our cabin. The check-in process was super efficient and smooth. Would you like a look around our cabin? Let's go. So we have a normal stateroom, no balcony, but a very, very big window. We have a lovely comfy bed, and I know this because I've tried it. Extra blanket. We have robes. Okay, I can't be in this video because it's so narrow we just can't get the angle on the phone. So we've got a nice top here. Here we have our life jackets. Yep, black ones. This dress has been rolled up and scrumpled up for the best part of a week and a half, so it's now having a well-deserved hang. And here, typical sort of Scandinavian design, we have somewhere to put shoes, and we are provided with these very nice sort of, what would you call them, sort of flip-floppy things. Nice long mirror, and then this is one half of the wardrobe. Again, loads of hangers here. We just can't use all the spaces that much. We have hiking boots on the bottom, and again we have these shoe shelves with my lovely slippers in. In here we have 1, 2 really deep shelves. There's a safe provided. You're just one of those where you just put your own code in, and then we're able just to stand our little rucksacks in the bottom. Let's have a look at the bathroom. First thing to notice, really high step. Be careful. I can see Dave face planting on that a few times. Okay, so here, towels, lovely towels, loads of storage here, beautiful shower with these Arctic Pure Cosmetics. Not much else to say other than even more storage, and yeah, pretty nice. And this little dial here, this is for the heated floor on the bathroom. And if you've watched any sort of videos maybe of the Hurtigruten cruises, you'll know that this heated floor is where everybody dries their wet clothes. But what a delight. Oops. Yeah, heated. And although you can't actually open the window in these cabins, there is here sort of a touch sensitive control pad for the thermostat. I've somehow knocked it on tonight there, but you can move up the temperature, move down the temperature. You've got the fan, you can put it on cool or you can put it on warm. And they do provide a hairdryer, and that's great when you're trying to store 3 weeks worth of clothing and all your toiletries and everything else. You don't have to worry about bringing a hairdryer because there's one here.
Next up was a mandatory safety briefing, and once that was completed, we set sail along the Beagle Channel and out into the Drake Passage. Before we get any further into the Drake Passage, let's take a look at the ship. This is Hurtigruten's newest ship, built in 2019, and takes up to 530 passengers in 265 cabins and suites. The centre of the ship is dominated by a lift atrium with a 17-metre high LCD screen showing different locations around the world from Hurtigruten's itineraries. Talking about the inside public areas first, and working from the bottom to the top of the ship, on deck 3 is the expedition launch area, which we will cover in more detail elsewhere. Deck 6 is one of the main hubs of the ship. 2 of the 3 restaurants are on this deck. Auna is the main restaurant, serving buffet breakfast and a mix of a la carte and buffet meals at lunch and dinner. There is a second smaller restaurant called Fredheim, serving a limited light bite type menu and also takeaway food from 12 until 9 p.m. We especially like the casual style of this restaurant. All of the restaurants, indeed nearly all of the public rooms, have floor to ceiling windows, meaning you can enjoy the incredible landscapes as you dine. A lecture theatre is also found on deck 6, where there are information briefings and lectures of scientific and historical topics. Next to the lecture theatre is the science area, where there are some microscopes. Further lectures and experimental demonstrations are carried out here. There is also a small library area with a range of specialist Antarctica and other books. Finally, on deck 6 is the reception and a small shop selling a variety of gift merchandise and essentials, seasickness pills for example, as well as some relevant books. On deck 7 is a well-equipped gym and a wellness bar which has a range of treatments on offer. And on deck 9 there is a third fine dining restaurant called Lindström. On deck 10 is the Explorer Lounge, which is available for complimentary tea or coffee all day, and alcoholic and soft drinks which are chargeable. Again, this has the most amazing, constantly changing views, be that as the ship sails, the wildlife or light outside changes, and there are a range of seating options. The lounge is also used as an extra lecture theatre and for larger public events such as Captain's Welcome and also any entertainment events. This included a performance from a ship band made up from the crew members from different departments, which started like this, but quickly moved on to this. Also on deck 10 is the sauna. This is quite large and again has those amazing floor-to-ceiling windows, so you can enjoy the icy outside while you swelter at 40 degrees. Turning to the outside areas of the ship now, and starting at the top this time, then on deck 11 you can walk or run around the track there and get a view in every direction. The Hurtigruten team were constantly advising that you need to spend time outside on deck if you want to see the wildlife, because it won't wait for you, and deck 11 was one of the best places to do this. The back of deck 10 was one of the places where some of the organised wildlife watches with the ship's expedition team were held. Also home to the jacuzzis and swimming pool and a pool bar. Jacuzzis were well used but never over full, and a great way of relaxing. The bar was not open much of the time as it was normally a bit cold to be sitting around, but there were a couple of events where food and beer were served.
It's a hot dogs and beer session. Can you get me a beer, Dave, please?
Yeah. On one sunny afternoon we could even sit out without putting all our layers back on. The other main outside area was at the front of deck 7, where again there were organised wildlife watches most days. Overall, you could tell this was a ship built recently based on years of experience delivering expeditions with nothing left to chance. We were fortunate that both our crossings of the Drake Passage were more Drake Lake than Drake Shake. During the 2-day crossing there was plenty to keep us occupied. We were issued with boots which had to be worn ashore. We had to vacuum all our outerwear so that nothing would contaminate the Antarctic continent, and there were a range of compulsory briefings and optional lectures to attend. Wildlife watches were held on the open decks. It was explained that the format for the days in Antarctica, all subject to the weather of course, will be 1 boat cruise and 1 landing for everyone. We have been split into animal groups and we will be called down in those groups to the expedition launch area. Times for these activities for each group were updated daily on the app used on board. There were also a range of optional activities at extra charge: kayaking, snowshoeing, camping, photography boat and science boat, which were allocated by ballot. As our voyage continued, we tried to spot some of the birds we'd learnt about with some success.
As we neared Antarctica, with a beautiful sunset, there was increased excitement aboard. But none of us were really prepared for what we would wake up to the following morning.
Our final day in Antarctica was spent at Deception Island, one of the South Shetland Islands, at the site of an old whaling station. It's called Deception Island because it appears to be a normal island, but is actually a ring around the flooded caldera of a still active volcano. At this time of year it was something of a different landscape from where we had been with little snow. The landing here consisted of a short hike to a viewpoint, or alternatively a historical tour of the buildings on site. We set off on the hike with a fairly large group of seals playing on the shore. The walk had been billed as demanding, but in reality it was not so really. There was some steep shale to climb up, it was fairly quickly accomplished. We made our way back to face the polar plunge, immerse yourself in the seawater which was at 0.1 degrees. This is an optional activity and only 50% of our party went for it. I won't be doing it again. It was a cold trip back to the ship for our last night on board. The following day we set off back across the Drake Passage. There was some time to relax, but still plenty of wildlife watches and lectures.
The smallest hummingbirds weigh 3 grams.
As we neared the Beagle Channel we were treated to the fabulous sunset before arriving in Ushuaia the following morning, which brought our cruise to a close. If you've stayed with us this far, we hope that means you've got something from this video. It's impossible to do justice to the landscape of Antarctica, but we hope we've put across something of our experience. This is not a trip that's available to everybody on account of the cost, which is significant. But if it's something you're considering and you think you might enjoy it, it's not particularly physically demanding and we would highly recommend it. If you have enjoyed watching, please do like and subscribe. It will give us some encouragement and help us get our channel off the ground. Meantime, until the next video, goodbye.